Hello bakers! Today I'm going to be making lemon chiffon pie. It's quick, it's easy, and it's super tasty. I like them much better than lemon meringues. So for our ingredients, we'll start with 4 eggs separated. You're going to need a cup of sugar, but you're going to use a half cup and a half cup of the sugar. 1 package or 1 tablespoon of gelatin. A 1/4 cup or 2 tablespoons of water. You're going to use 2 tablespoons and 2 tablespoons on the water though. I've got a teaspoon of grated lemon zest. I've got a half cup of lemon juice. That took me about 2½ lemons to get a half cup. That will vary depending on the size of your lemons. I also like to add a couple drops of the liquid yellow food coloring. It gives it a little more yellow color, makes it look a little more appealing. And you'll also need a 9-inch baked pie shell. I like a graham cracker pie crust for this. If you don't know how to make graham cracker pie crust, I've got a tutorial on that. They're super easy to make. I've also got one on making regular pie shells if you prefer a regular pie shell for that. The other thing you'll need for making this is a double boiler. So you've got a large pan, which you've got some boiling water in the pan, and a little bowl that fits in it. Now if you don't have a pan that comes set up like this, just use a glass, any heat-proof bowl that will fit a little larger in your pan, and just set that over there. And what that does is it provides a little more consistent lower temperature heat so that the eggs don't curdle on you. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my gelatin and I'm going to put it in a little bowl here, and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of the water to that. 1, 2, and we'll just give that a little stir, and that's just going to let that soften up on us there. So we're just going to leave that to set till later. Now the next thing I'm going to do is separate my eggs. I've already separated 3 of them, but I wanted to go over separating eggs if you don't know how. I recommend the 3-bowl method. 1 to put your yolks in, 1 to put your separated whites in, and 1 to work in. This way, if you break the yolk or get some yolk in the whites, you can go ahead and take that bowl aside and use that for scrambled eggs, and you don't ruin. There's nothing worse than getting to the last egg and getting yolk into your mixture, because if you have any yolks in your whites, they're not going to whip for you. So just crack your egg in half, and I just recommend putting it right in your hand and just using your fingers to let the white separate from the yolk. And if you want, you can pull that little calasia, the umbilical cord, off. And then now this is good, so there's no yolks in there, so we can dump that in our bowl with the rest of our whites, and our egg whites will be good to go. So let me just rinse my hands real quick. I'm going to put those other 2 tablespoons of water in this pan. We're going to add our egg yolks to the pan. And we can just give those a quick stir. We're going to add a half a cup of sugar. Got a half cup scoop here. And we'll just level him off. So we got our half cup of sugar. And we'll give that a stir in. And we'll put in our lemon zest. Teaspoon was the zest of about 1 of those lemons. So we'll put that in there. And we'll add our lemon juice. So I've got the egg yolks, a little bit of the water, half a cup of the sugar, lemon zest, and a half cup of lemon juice. And I'm just going to give this a quick stir. And once I get it mixed up, I'm going to move it over to my double boiler, and I'm going to start cooking it and stirring continuously. It's real important to stir this continually. If you don't, you're going to get clumps in it. So we're going to stir this for a couple of minutes here until it's thickened. And this is probably the longest part, though it's not a very difficult thing to do. You just got to stir. And then once it thickens up, we'll add the gelatin, and then we'll beat our egg whites and fold them in, and our pie will basically be done. All right, it's been almost 15 minutes. I think our thing is just about done. One thing that's important to remember when you're stirring is make sure you get the edges good. That will tend to cook first in the edges, and you don't want any curdled or cooked egg in your mixture. This chiffon pie also works great with orange or lime. Just substitute those juices instead of the lemon juice. Be careful when you take it off. There was boiling water under it. You can get some steam burn. So I'm going to take it off the heat, and I'm going to take my gelatin that I softened in the water before, and we'll get that, and we're just going to give that a quick stir and so that that'll melt and mix in with our mixture. And I'm going to add like 2 or 3 drops of yellow food coloring, because when I mix it with the egg whites, it's going to be a lot paler. So I'm going to put in like 1, 2, 3 drops of yellow food coloring and just stir those in. And that'll give it a little better color. And as I said, you can make a lime or an orange chiffon. I've done chocolate chiffon. These are really great pies. All basically the same recipe and technique. So we're going to let this set for a couple of minutes, and you can kind of, just so you can see the thickness, you know, it's definitely coating the back of the spoon like that. So you can kind of see the thickness of it. So I'm going to come over here. I've got my egg whites in my mixer. I've got the whisk attachment on. I'm going to turn this on, and then once they get nice and frothy, I'm going to add that other ½ cup of sugar and continue beating. Our egg whites, if you see here, are nice and frothy. Not completely beaten stiff yet though, so I'm going to get my ½ cup of sugar, and I'm going to slowly add this. If you add it all at once, it's not going to work good. So I'm going to turn it back on and slowly add that sugar in. Just a fine drift of sugar. Some folks will simply add it a tablespoonful at a time, however works best for you. Now we're just going to let these keep beating until we've got nice stiff peaks, and then we'll fold in that other mixture. All right, our egg whites are nice and stiffly beaten. Get those off. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our mixture here, and we're going to fold all of that into our egg whites. So we're just going to dump this into there. And we're just going, now you don't want to deflate your egg white, so you just kind of go around the bowl and through the middle. until we get everything mixed in there. And then we'll put this in our pie shell and put that in the ice box and let it chill for a couple of hours until it's set. So again, this is the lemon chiffon, and you notice how much that lightened up once we added those egg whites. So those drops of food coloring really do help. Make sure you mix it thoroughly. You don't want lumps of egg white or meringue. And again, you can make this with limes, basically the same ingredients, just, do lime juice and lime zest. You can make it with oranges. If you're doing orange, I would add a teaspoon of lemon juice to the half cup of orange juice. Just kind of slicing through the center there. If you stir it too vigorously, you'll deflate it, but you don't want to get all those lumps out. And I think we're pretty good here. We're looking pretty smooth. So once we've got it all done, we're just simply going to come over and we're going to dump that in our baked pie shell. And we'll throw him in the fridge for an hour or two, and then we'll be ready. Now, you can serve this as is, or if you like, you can add a little bit of whipped cream on the top for serving. I actually think it's good enough as is. You really don't need the whipped cream. Oops, you get back in there. So just kind of smooth out the top a little bit. You can leave a little bit of decoration on there, or some spikes on there, go like that, give it a little bit of texture. And let's just give our bowl one last good scrape here. All right. I think we're ready. To throw this in the fridge, and then once it chills, we'll come back and sample it. Lemon chiffon pie. See you in an hour or two. All right. Our pie has chilled. It's nice and set now. You can see the everything's firmed up. So we're ready to get a slice and enjoy. I'm just going to cut here and then just run that knife around the edge a little bit, and now you can see I probably should have mixed that a little better. You got a little bit of meringue left there, my bad. But let's see how it tastes. Light, very good. A little bit of a lemon sharpness to it. Delicious. So, lemon chiffon pie. Trust me, give it a try. You'll like it much better than lemon meringue. It's simple to make. Delicious. I hope you've enjoyed making lemon chiffon pie with me today. If so, please like this video and like and subscribe to this channel for more good cooking with the Iron Maiden. Thanks and happy baking.